I don't know. We're being stifled out. We're getting...
Well over, thought I found true love. Scorpion done crawled up her leg.
Thanks. Bizarre. Jeff and Macon, you're on WSB.
I'm going to try to be creative for you now. How about that?
Well, do it.
Okay, first off, I don't want to get any arguments with you or nothing, but, okay, I'm 20 years old, and I've never drank alcohol or drugs or anything, but for the people that do, I understand that I'm 20, I vote for the President of the United States. If there's a war, I can fight and die for my country. Why can't I walk in and buy a six-pack?
Because it says your constitutional rights are being violated. You should be able to buy a six-pack. At 18, you should be able to buy a six-pack. But that was my argument earlier. Why is it we can go against you, we can go after you, and you people really don't complain that much. But if we go after a 58-year-old and say, hey, you're losing your right to vote, mandatory retirement, oh man, come on, unconstitutional, and no, it's not right. It's not fair. If we can do this to your age group, we should be able to do it to their age group.
That's right.
And do office. We need people with fresh ideas. We need youth. The youth in this country has ideas. The older generation do not. They want it. They're worried about this day-to-day life. We need people with vision, and people with vision are the youth, not the older generation. Now, how do we straighten out this problem? Okay, now how do we straighten it out? Well, the way you straighten it out, which is fair to everybody, is you have a limited time span in your life that you can vote. You say from 18 to 58, you have the right to vote. This is fair for everybody. At 58, you lose the right to vote. Now, what will that accomplish? What it will accomplish is our grandfather will not be president of this country. What it will accomplish is people like Claude Pepper, who are not around to benefit or suffer from their legislation, will not be in office because our generation will not put them there. True? It is true. The older generation is the problem in this country. Their vote is what is bringing us down. Now, everybody should have the right to vote. A 17-year-old does not have the right to vote. A 59-year-old should not have the right to vote. With the youth vote, we will bring a new kind of leadership into this country, a leadership of vision. Get rid of the old vote. At 58, you lose your right to vote. This is progress. It will work. That is the answer. That it is fair for everyone. You've had the right. Everybody will have a turn. Another thing that will cure the problems in this country, welfare. Welfare is taking us over, isn't it? It is. We're becoming a welfare state. What do we do about it? Mandatory retirement. At age 58, you retire. Now you think, what good will that do besides putting you out of work? Well, let's face it, it is your generation that put us in the mess we're in today. It's not my generation. I'm having to clean up your mess. It is the older generation who created this nightmare we live in. Mandatory retirement will create unlimited jobs. Instead of working till you're 80 years old or whatever, you can sit back and relax and enjoy life, and somebody on welfare will have a job to pick from. It will work. You will not have to settle with the job you were in. You will have unlimited choices out there of a job. It will work. Wages will be higher. This country will take off. This government, by mandatory retirement, by losing the vote at 58, the government would be a reflection of the working man rather than a reflection of the retired man, which it is now. And look where it's going. Absolutely nowhere. The older generation is the problem in this country. We need to cure it, and that is the cure. Mandatory retirement, unlimited jobs, no more welfare. This country will take off. Lose your right to vote at 58. 17-year-olds don't have the right to vote, yet they're happy people. It's fair for everyone. You've had the right to vote for 40 years, so will everybody else. It is fair. Mandatory retirement and lose your voting privilege at a certain age. That, right there, those ideas right there, this country would take off. I thought about it all week. Those are the answers. Think about it. 872-0750 outside of Atlanta, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Something else I wanted to bring up that bothers me. I went to a magic market on the way here. Thinking about it, it bothered me. On the way here, I stopped at a self-service gas station. I picked up a lousy pack of gum, which I do every week. It's my routine. I like a pack of gum. Gives me good breath when I talk to people, I guess. I didn't do anything out of the abnormal at all, nothing. I walked up to the girl behind the counter and paid for the gum. She looked at me in such just a bizarre, like I want to reach over the counter and slug you look. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it before in women. This woman had a severe case of premenstrual syndrome, PMS. Why is that? Why? Why can't you keep your mood to yourself? If you were listening to this, clerk, when you have PMS, keep it to yourself. Do not inflict your misery on me. It is a curse on man. This girl was scary looking. I was nervous around this lunatic. You know, PMS is a recognized mental disease. You know, and I just don't like being around it. I really don't. It scared me. I think this PMS strikes, man. Stay out of public, hide, do whatever you got to do. It's a curse against man. You know, here it is. You and I, you guys. I mean, you guys. Forget you women. Just here, you guys. You love a woman. You love a woman. But there's a price to pay. It's called temporary insanity. Women go through insanity. That's what PMS is. It's recognized by psychiatrists. Insanity. I can't stand it anymore. It's getting to me. I don't know. Guys, how do you cope with it? How do you cope with it, guys? And I want to ask you women, when you have PMS, do you realize you're a nutcase? Do you realize, hey, I'm a lunatic to be around, you better be careful? Women, what is your worst PMS moment? I want to know. What is your worst PMS moment? And do you have a need to inflict it on the nearest man near you? Do you have that need to abuse a man? When you have PMS, does this hatred come across you that you just want to abuse? I'm serious. I want to know. Amelia in Norcross, you're on WSB.
Is this friend?
Hey, Arelia, is that your name?
Yes, Arelia, yeah.
You're on WSB.
Arelia.
How you doing?
Paul. Yeah, I don't want you to cut me off, and I don't want you to get ugly with me, okay?
It depends what you say.
Okay. First of all, if you don't like our red mud clay, there's always... I'm going to say this, but I got something else to say, too, okay?
Say it.
Okay. If you don't like our red mud clay, there's always deltas ready when you are, right?
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
Okay.
If I don't like...
Wait, just a minute now. I told you to listen to me
It's
out,
a stupid
okay?
comment. I have a need to respond to it.
No, wait just a minute.
No?
You always cut us down, okay?
No, I don't.
Okay. Now, if you don't like it, there's other places that you can live where they won't have red clay.
Right.
I've lived with red clay.
You love red clay, don't you? You love it tracked through your house, don't you?
And I like it.
Do you plaster your walls with it?
No, but
But you love red clay.
I almost plaster my front porch. I've been working in red clay all afternoon,
Right.
And I love it.
All right. What's your other comment, Arelia?
Okay. And another comment is you say that the elderly people shouldn't have a right to vote. Okay. I'm saying, and I know what I'm doing, I know what my government's doing, and everything else. And I'm going to vote. I don't give a damn whether I'm 80 years old or 90 years old. As long as I'm able to get to the polls, I'm going to vote.
You don't love America, do you?
Huh?
You don't love America, do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
No. What if psychologists, what if scientists and everybody sat down and they said the problem in this country is the elderly. If they said really the problem in this country is the elderly voter, and to be a good American, that means you no longer have the right to vote, just like a 17-year-old.
It's not the older people. Paul, listen to me now. I've been living long enough, and I've had parents live long enough.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for the older people, this world would collapse, okay? Now, these young people don't know what's all going on. They into the dope, they into the alcohol, they into...
Oh, spare me. No, that's not. Thanks for the call, Aurelia.
Yeah, they are, too.
Goodbye, Aurelia. Not true at all. There is mistakes and everything, but, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and everybody has hang-ups. But the problem in this country is the elderly voter. They are putting elderly politicians in with absolutely no original thought at all, just old, rehashed thought. That is what an elder politician has. They don't have an original thought in their mind. The youth out there has the original thought. I'm David Paulus, AM-750 WSB.
AM-750 blankets the South and more with its clear channel signal. A lot of area out there to keep track of.
Found out, they discovered it through science, that the elder voter is the problem. They are keeping old politicians in there that do not have original thought, and I think that's the problem. Original thought. This is a complicated world. You have to have original thought, not rehashed old ideas over and over and again. Now, that is the problem. Now, if they discovered this was the problem, and the elder citizens of this country said, hey, I'm not giving up my right, even though it's a proven fact, just like it would be a proven fact that a 17-year-old cannot handle alcohol. If they would not give up that right, they're un-American. Chuck in Duluth, you're on WSB. Chuck. Isaac in Marietta, you're on WSB.
Yes, I would like to say that to a point that I do agree with, what you said about the older generation.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't think it would be a good idea to just get rid of them, because, I mean, without them, there's no leadership, and I just don't
That's right. That's right. There is no leadership because the older generation is clogging up the leadership positions out there with old politicians. We need politicians in there that are 29 years old. We need politicians right out of Emory University who've got some creative thought. Not some guy who doesn't even think anymore at 80 years old like Reagan.
I mean, but without them, though, we would go through, needless, situations that, I mean, they know,
How do you know that? What do you mean needless? I mean, we're killing this planet. We're killing this United States. We're polluting everything. How can it be any worse?
I mean,
No, I don't know what you mean. I don't think you know what you mean.
Let me tell you.
Tell me.
I mean, it sounds like it's not their fault that this is. I mean,
I know it's. I'm not
generation.
saying any. I'm not saying, and I'm not condemning the older generation at all. I'm not at all. I am the problem. This is the problem. There is the problem.
How do you know?
Reagan was too old to be president. Bush is too old to be president. He should be sitting on a rocking chair someplace and eating grapes. That's where. Yeah, that's right. I think eating grapes. Figure it out, guy. Come on. Nell in Atlanta. You're on WSB.
Good evening. How are you?
Pretty good, Nell.
The old people wasn't raised on Social Security. They are now. And no old man never taught you all you know. Because I bet you they could tell you some things now.
I am sure.
And
But
they wasn't raised on welfare. Why don't you get rid of the welfare recipient?
Well, I'm telling you. Oh, no, I don't know what you're screaming about, lady. No, the way you could get rid of welfare is you mandatory retirement. 58, 60, you retire. That is the way it is. That opens up a job opening. Somebody is no longer on welfare. There are many, many jobs out there available. Think about it. Use your brain, man. Come on, it's a creative thought here. 872-0750 outside of Atlanta, 1-800-WSB-TALK. George in Stone Mountain, you're on WSB.
Dave.
George.
What's happening?
You, George.
You got a few bad ideas tonight, buddy.
How's that, George?
My father's 59 years old. He's an executive with a computer company here in Atlanta. He's making $380,000 a year. You want him to quit his job, huh?
I think if he quit his job, they could hire somebody for 1/10 the cost, and they'd put somebody in there, let's say at $38,000 or something, 29 years old, right out of college with fresh ideas.
Fresh ideas. I think it's some of these 59-year-old ideas of my father's that have helped this company so much.
Sure, I'm sure it has.
He's earned his money.
See, the problem is, I mean, when this country was formed, I mean, the average lifespan was, what, in the 40s or something?
Correct.
That's the way it was, okay? But now the average lifespan, people live to be 90 years old and 100 years old. That's the way it is. Well, because of that, you don't get to vote till you're 18 years old. You've got people that are, let's say, 20 to 50 and 50 to 100. The 50 to 100 outnumber the others, and these 50 to 100 are putting in stupid politicians. They're putting in morons. We need people in there that are 29 years old. But a person that's 29 years old won't get in there because the 70-year-old doesn't like him because he thinks, hey, he's a kid. And that's a lousy reason.
Along the same lines, Dave, don't want to stretch it out too far, but like I say, my father's 59, makes pretty good salary each year. Why shouldn't he have the right to vote? Should we keep it to a...
Hey, he does have the right to vote. What I'm saying, why doesn't a 17-year-old have the right to vote? A 17-year-old can be just as intelligent as a 60-year-old or a 30-year-old, a well-read 17-year-old. Why doesn't he have the right to vote? Because we don't think it should be put in his hand. Now, if science proved that the older politician is destroying this country, why shouldn't we take that advice and get rid of the old politicians? And just sit, you know, and retire. What's wrong with retirement? That's not critical. Sit back and enjoy life. Let somebody else take care of it for change. You have the right to vote for 40 years, and then it's all over. That is fair for everyone.
That's very good, Dave. But he is enjoying life right now.
And he should enjoy life.
And he's going to enjoy if he kept doing this for 10 more years.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 23.
I bet you if somebody your age came along and was running for political office, he'd say, "Oh, that's a kid. They don't know what's going on yet," and they would not give them a chance at all. But he'd look at somebody his own age, and he would look favorable upon that person.
Exactly what you're doing. You're saying somebody his age is not good in office while somebody your age.
Well, there is a problem, man. Hey, thanks for the call, but there is a problem.
Have a good day.
Thanks, George. There is a problem. We're killing this planet, and the older generation is doing it. We can sit back and do absolutely nothing, or we can take action. Harold in Bold Spring, you're on WSB.
Yeah, David, how are you tonight?
Pretty good, Harold.
Good. Say, David, were you ever in the service?
No, Harold.
Okay, well, let me come back on you this way. I want to be a nice fella, and I want to talk to you, not raising my voice, but I'm a veteran of World War II. I laid in the hospital many, many months before I was discharged to come home. I served my country. I fought for my country.
Right.
I have the right to vote. I have the right to live until the day I die.
Well, no, at 17 you didn't have that right. Why is it, Harold? What is wrong with not voting at a certain age? What is, the country will still move on. It's just I'm tired. Reagan had absolutely no business at all being in the White House. Bush has no business being in the White House. These people are older citizens. We need somebody in there that's 32 years old that is a creative mind to deal with these enormous problems. These people don't have the capacity. They are professional politicians who...
As far as I am concerned, I fought for my country.
Yes, you did.
I laid in the hospital in World War II.
And thank you.
And as long as I live, I'm an American. I love my country. I voted for I will vote until the day I die.
Okay, Harold.
And just you saying that we only can do this until we're 58 years old.
Yes.
Man, I got a black belt. I would like to meet you
No threats. Please, please. Give me a break, Harold. No, I'm tired of it. We need people in there that are 25 years old in Congress. We need people that are 28 years old in Congress. But the older generation will not allow it. The older generation wants grandparents, people on their same level, people that should be retired in office. That's not right. That's wrong. Prophet in Marietta, you're on WSB.
Hey, David.
Prophet.
I'm enjoying your topic tonight.
Thanks.
You know what the problem is? These old Roosevelt yellow dog Democrats who are in there keep putting the Kennedys, the Claude Peppers, and folks of that ilk in office year after year. How come we can't limit their term in the office?
Well, we should. We should. But see, the problem, they're all... Claude Pepper, come on. How old was the guy when he died? 89 or something?
You see, they're going to give him a stamp?
Oh, spare me.
You know, you have to be dead 10 years before you get a stamp.
Yeah, right.
They're going to waive it for him.
Yeah, I know.
All the Elvis freaks are going crazy over this.
No, I read it. Thanks, Prophet. David Paul, AM-750, WSB.
If you've been considering elective cosmetic surgery, you'll want to be right here.
To drink alcohol because we say, hey, it's not good for the country. Here are the proven facts. Now, if the same proven facts were against you, people that are 55 and older or 50 and older, if we said, here are the facts, you're electing idiots, okay? But you completely, here, it's okay if we take away the rights from 18 to 21-year-olds to drink, okay? That's okay if we take away their rights. But if we took away your rights, you wouldn't stand for it, even if it was for the good of the country. But the 18-year-olds aren't fighting it, so who is the better American? The person at 18 years old that does not complain that his rights are being taken away, or the 55-year-old who is complaining because he's losing the right to vote for the betterment of the country? Who is the better American? I'll tell you the better American, the 18-year-old. Mary in Marietta, you're on WSB.
Yes, is this me?
Yes, it is, Mary.
Oh, well, I really enjoy your program, and I lived here 10 years now. And this red clay I read somewhere is our heritage for this state. When you see this red clay, which I think is beautiful, I don't care for it to get on my shoes or car. And not only that, I am 58 years old, so I guess I'm over the hill. But I do pay $17,000 taxes a year.
Wow.
And I'm a retired person, but I just got to tell you, I love your program.
Mm-hmm.
I love to hear you tell them what it's like.
That's what I'm all about, Mary. I sit home during the week and I ponder over these questions. How can we make America better? And I have figured it out. I have the answer. The answer, you won't like the answer, but Mary, it's your generation that got us in this mess. It is your generation that has made this country what it is today.
I worked for many years, paid high taxes.
Sure.
Social Security, I haven't got it yet, but you know, all these rich people get this Social Security.
Well, Mary, I hate Georgia Clay. I am not proud of Georgia Clay. It is pretty to look at it from a view, but I do not want it on my tag. And that's what that little orange strip is. It's driving.
I think it's beautiful.
It looks like there's clay on your tag.
Yes.
You like that?
Well, I think it's nice. You know, I came from a state where the ground is pure black. They grow celery in it. Black dirt. But now this red clay matches my hair.
I'd assume they pave it all over. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
Brian in Decatur, you're on WSB.
David?
Brian.
I don't think that people should not be allowed to vote.
17-year-olds can't vote?
Yeah.
Well, why shouldn't we allow a 17-year-old can't vote?
I think 17-year-olds should vote, and I think people should vote till they die, but I think we should kill the people after they're 58.
You do?
Yeah. That'll solve the problem with them complaining. The veterans have been hurt in war and complaining and all that stuff. They'll be dead and won't have to worry about it.
Brilliant. Tom, Marietta, you're on WSB.
Yeah. You know, I'm 21. I've been listening to you. And you say wipe out the elderly or take them out of office. You know, you look at countries like China and Japan, and, you know, they pay respect to the...
Hey, how is this not respectful to the elderly? It is not.
Yo, dude, yeah, you are. You're attacking them.
No, I'm trying to improve the country, and somebody has to pay the price. And that is not disrespectful of the elderly at all.
Yes, sir, it is. And let me...
Well, to you it is. I guess you really don't love this country, do you?
Well, sir...
No, I mean, if somebody had to pay a price to make this country better...
My father has, before he died, he had scar wounds from World War II. And my uncle, he lost his leg in World War II. How much more can you love your country? How much?
Who's questioning their love for the country?
Well, you just said I didn't love my country.
No.
And you know, look, like I said, I'm 21. You say put a 32-year-old.
That's right.
But he's so hot-headed, like you are.
Oh, that's goofy. It's so hot-headed.
Let me tell you.
You just stereotyped everybody. Every 32-year-old, you're all a bunch of hot-headed idiots out there, and you're underqualified to be them. That's strange.
Well,
no,
see,
people at 55 have rehashed thoughts. They have old thoughts they rehash. At 32-year-old, you have original thought.
Do you want to be president?
No, I don't want to be president.
Okay, then...
I couldn't handle the job. I'm not intelligent enough to do the job.
You're right. You're not.
I'll be the first to admit it, but either are you.
You know,
either is 99% of the country out there. We're electing grandfathers to do the job that we need a mental mind to do the job, and these grandfathers out there we are electing cannot do it. Look around. It's visible proof. What more proof do you need?
You know,
maybe you hide your head in the sand, Tom, but I don't. And I think it is the elder generation, and this is not picking on them.
Get upset with me.
No, I'm not. It is the elder generation in this country who got us in the mess we're in today. It is them, not me, who made the nuclear bomb. It is them who started the steps towards polluting and killing every lake and river in this country.
So you're
blind, Tom. You sit back and you do nothing.
You're like the Aryans that think that you're better than everybody else.
No, I don't think I'm better than everybody else, Tom. But I'm not like you, Tom.
You're like Hitler, where you want to place the blame on the Jews. You want to place it on the elderly.
Nah.
And it's not the elderly.
Yeah, right. Like Hitler, right.
Your belief.
Tim, why? Tell me how, Tim. I'm just stating a fact. If it was a proven fact that 18-year-olds through 21 can't handle liquor, okay, we take away that right. Isn't that a right of theirs?
Well,
shouldn't that be a right? You're an adult at 18. That we took away that right. If we also proved it a fact that 58-year-olds and above couldn't handle the vote because they elected idiots, I think we should take away that right. If they wanted to elect nothing but elderly people who are grandfathers and who can't handle the job and don't understand the concept of the job, how is that? I'm not being disrespectful at all. I am a true American. I am looking for the betterment of this country.
David, I understand that, and I've heard it several times already. And
You have.
Well, yes, from you.
Mhm.
Actually, you've repeated yourself about 15 times.
Sorry.
20. Well, that's all right. Well, my question is, how did you reach the age of 58?
I think at a certain age, you should have mandatory retirement.
Well, how did you...
And I think at the same time mandatory retirement occurs, you lose the right to vote. And this creates an atmosphere of electing youthful people that will be around to live in the country they help form.
Right. Well,
That
David,
make any sense at all?
I was drafted into the Vietnam War when I was 18 years old. And
Okay.
I was shot at. My brother was killed. My other brother was killed.
Right.
And I just feel like that I fought, lived, hell, I almost died.
Right.
And I don't see how you can, from anyone's beliefs based upon our Constitution, be able to determine whether or not an individual should be allowed to vote.
We've determined a 17-year-old can't vote.
Well, right.
Well, why is that right?
agree.
Why is that right?
I don't know why the cutoff is there, and I don't know why you're cutting it off at 58.
I am trying to do something to help this country. I love this country. And if you don't like my idea, that's you have the right to say your opinion.
And
you are.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to debate the opinion with you. And well, one question that I have to ask you is, what do you think the percentage of people are that agree with you?
I don't know. I don't know if they can get through, because I think everybody that thinks I'm sick or mentally ill is calling me right now. And that's what I think my lines are filled with right now. So the people that agree with me, I wish they would call in when they can.
Well, David, do you think that you can clear up two phones and have a number that you dial and you vote yes, and a number that you dial?
Well, let's
no?
just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. But
Are you afraid of that, David?
Afraid of what, Tim?
Afraid of having a public forum where somebody can dial in their phone and vote for a yes?
No, I'm not. I'm not a pollster. I'm not a pollster, Tim. I'm leading the discussion. Thanks for the call. I'm not a pollster. I'm just giving an opinion. I want you to give yours. David Paul, AM-750 WSB on WSB.
Hey.
Cliff.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Okay.
Talk to me.
I think your deal is great as far as everybody, I would say 55 rather than 58, could no longer vote.
Okay.
The only thing is, when they no longer vote, they don't pay no more taxes. I think that's great.
Cliff, that makes sense. I sort of agree with that. Instead of having a hard time in old age making ends eat, at 55 making ends meet, you don't pay taxes. That's a good creative idea, Cliff. I like that. Because you won't need to, because there'll be so many more jobs out there formed and less people on welfare. That's very creative. I felt like you took the ball there, Cliff, and you ran with it. That's good. Or were you just making fun of me?
I'm making fun of you, actually.
But that was a good idea, Cliff.
I think your whole program stinks.
Thank you, Cliff. But that was a good idea. I like the idea. Didn't you think that was a good idea? That was a good idea. Wayne in Marietta, you're on WSB. Hello, Wayne.
Yeah, Dave.
Wayne.
You said younger people should, be the president of the United States.
I don't think there should be an age limit on it. I think I want younger people in there. I do not want 70-year-olds in there and being presidency anymore. You don't have them anywhere else. People at 70, majority of people start to retire at 60, and they begin to think, hey, I'm going to sit back and take it easy. Why do these politicians at 70 decide, hey, I want to rule the most powerful country on the planet? Get out. Sit home. Go away. Let somebody in there half your age do the job.
But, David, we already got a man, a vice president.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And look who picked him. The president of the United States is the only man in this country to vote on this guy, the second most powerful job in the country, a possibility of being president, and only one man picked him. We all picked the presidency, but nobody besides the president picked the second most powerful job in this country, and he picked an idiot. You know why you pick an idiot, don't you? You pick an idiot to make you look good. Quayle makes Bush look good. You pick an idiot. You never pick somebody smarter than you for vice president. You pick an idiot. Bush did a great job.
But you're saying younger people still should be in charge.
Yes, I do. But not an idiot. Not an idiot.
Well, his IQ is about as high as yours, man.
Rodney in Riverdale, you're on WSB.
Hi, Dave. What's up?
You, Rodney.
Well, Dave, I don't understand this topic tonight.
Okay.
I kind of agree with it, and I kind of don't.
Okay, tell me what you agree with. I need an agreeable call. Please give me some agreeable. What do you agree with?
Let me ask you, are you sitting up or standing down tonight?
I never sit. I always stand.
Stand, okay. Anyway,
I can't think when I sit down.
I feel sorry for these old people. they kind of, I mean, they lose their hearing, their sight, and their hair, and their teeth. I don't think they should lose the right to vote, though.
If it was, I am saying, I don't know whether they should or not. I don't know whether they should or not. I'm just, they monopolize the candidates out there. They do. Their vote puts the old politician in office. I want it, now if we limited the vote to 58, you'd see emerging from the ranks young politicians with young, fresh, original, creative ideas. And I don't think that's ever going to happen with the older vote in there. It will not happen.
I think a good example of what you're talking about, though, is old Tom Murphy. Don't you think?
Right here, man. I agree. Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
But see, he will always, because the older senior citizen out there love the guy. Now, the person out there with no youthful, you know, and who wants the state to grow, now they're not going to like this guy. But the people that have voted for him, 20 years ago, they still like him. See, what's happened is us out here, we're stuck with politicians who've been in office for 20 years, 25 years. We're stuck with them. Okay, when the elder generation put them in office, okay, they're throwing the country away, and you and I are stuck with them. We can't get them out.
Yeah, I got another comment to make, too.
What is it?
I want to talk about this PMS stuff.
What about it?
Well, I think that's the reason why they don't let women be president.
PMS. Yeah. Women go insane. They do. They go insane.
What if they come to work one day with that on their mind, and they might bomb rush or something, push that button just because they're in a bad mood?
Well, I mean, psychologists do recognize PMS as an insanity. They do recognize that as a loss of mental functions. They do. So yes, it is a serious problem, and it is a curse put on you and I. You and I as men. It is a curse.
You got that right.
I know it.
You're right, Dave.
I know I'm right.
Dave for president.
Forget it. Thanks.
See you, Dave.
I'm David Paul. This is AM-750 WSB.
Help! I can't get out!
Willett Toyota and Willett Mitsubishi in Decatur.
And Willett Honda Morrow. And Willett Honda West Douglasville ask...
Are you stuck in your car?
Hey! Somebody give me a hand!
If so, then listen to this.
For a very limited time, the entire Willett Group has authorized a fund up to $100,000 to help you get out of your used car.
Even if you owe more than it's worth.
Now at Willett Toyota Decatur.
Buy a new 90 Tercel, just $58.95. Or a new 90 Celica, only $11,189.
At Willett Mitsubishi Decatur.
Buy a new 90 Eclipse, just $10,990. Or a new 90 Galant, only $98.90.
And at both Willett Honda Morrow and Willett Honda West Douglasville.
Buy a new 90 CRX Deluxe, only $83.39. Or a new 90 Accord LX Automatic, loaded, $13,699.
Plus, Willett offers express tax for filing your income tax return.
Come in today and use your expected refund for your purchase.
Take advantage of the special fund today at Willett Toyota and Willett Mitsubishi.
Corner of Church Street and North Decatur Road in Decatur.
And at Willett Honda Morrow, opposite South Lake Mall.
And Willett Honda West Douglasville, exit 8 off I-20.
Check Journal-Constitution for details.
Hi, Fun Seekers, Ludlow Porch. Listen, I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, get some rest, but be sure to be back with me Monday morning at 9 o'clock on AM-750 WSB.
Lita in Lawrenceville. You're on WSB, Lita.
Well, I think PMS, they should really, it's a biological function. You can't help it.
Right?
Yeah. And another thing, that is orange on your license plate, not brown.
It's
orange. It's not brown.
Yeah, right. I'm not even in the mood. Dick in Roswell, you're on WSB.
David.
Dick.
Hey, don't you think it's about time you found honest work? Huh? You know, I've got an even better idea. I have an idea that no talk show host should be allowed on the air unless he has an IQ of at least 60. That would let you out.
Are you referring to me?
You are I've heard a lot of them, but you're the worst. You are the biggest knucklehead that I have ever heard in my life. Did you ever go to college or high school, or how about elementary school?
Of course, Dick.
Kindergarten.
See, you're beyond.
You are the biggest jerk that ever lived. No, not the biggest. Not the big. I got a few relatives in there, but you're right in there with them, buddy.
You put things
you're the
intellectually.
top
You
five.
really do. You have a way of putting your word. You have a way of putting your words together. So yeah.
What a mind.
Give me some. Thank you. I agree. What a mind. I'm a creative mind.
There's only one problem with you.
What?
That's that you live past 3 months old. That's all. People like you, we don't need. You talk about polluting the atmosphere and the. Are you on the same program Ludlow Porch is on?
Who?
Ludlow
Oh,
Porch.
spare me. What do you think,
Huh?
Dick? Come on, Dick. Of course.
Ludlow Porch contributes something to this world.
Dick, I am creative.
You are absolutely the biggest nerd, knucklehead, deadbeat. You are devoid of one sound idea.
No,
all you do is run your mouth. You don't let anybody else talk. You're the biggest jerk I've ever heard. I'm going to call Ludlow Porch on Monday and have you fired. What do you think of that?
You don't have what it takes, boy. See what I take? Creative idea, my creative mind at work, coming up with a new, fresh idea. I have one open line. Give me an agreeable call. It's already taken. Dadgummit. I know these. Dan in Stone Mountain, you're on WSB.
Hey man, I guess that guy's just jealous of you.
No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know a good idea when he hears it.
He's probably just jealous because you made it past high school or something. Anyway, man, it's about the Guns N' Roses song, Welcome to the Jungle. It's just about the people that run the place. They're just too old, man.
They are.
Just too old. They're old hoagies thinking, well,
don't name call. This is respectful. I'm being respectful, Dan. But how old are you, Dan? See, I get an agreeable call and they're an idiot. I get an agreeable call and it's an idiot. Please, somebody from Emory, Georgia State. I want you to try your best. When I hang up, there's a 7-second delay. Figure it out. Get through. I want an agreeable, intelligent call. Please. That would make me feel good. Clifton in Huntsville, you're on WSB. Clifton. Hello, Clifton. Carl in Alabama, you're on WSB.
Dave, you finally got your call you wanted, buddy.
Thank you, Carl.
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Right now, you are, Carl.
Dave, is that you, man?
That's me, Carl.
Okay, listen. What do you want newer politicians for the new ideas, huh?
Doesn't that make sense? The old way does not work, okay? The Constitution is a tool for us to use. If the Constitution stands in our way, you rewrite it. Put an amendment to the Constitution. You rewrite it, throw it away if you have to. It is for our benefit. If the system does not work, which is happening right now, you rewrite it. I think that's creative. If the elderly voter is standing in our way, write them out. Simple. Make sense, Carl?
Yeah, we all want to vote for what's going to benefit us.
I know.
Older voters are voting for legislation that's going to favor their assets.
And politicians know that.
Yeah?
They know that.
I think we need the government of the people and by the people, some socialism. Then we can appeal to everybody. What do you think about it?
Socialism.
Yeah. How about the government taking
welfare
care of
socialism,
Americans?
Socialism is welfare.
Health benefits I'm speaking of. You know, Germany.
Oh, who cares? Man? No. I have the cure. I have the cure. I don't know all the answers. Don't look to me. I don't know. That's a good. Okay, so what you're saying? Take from Germany what they have. Pick and choose, right? We can do that. You want socialized medicine, right?
Yeah, I think it would help out.
I agree. I think it would too.
I mean, if you don't work for the government, you got to pay up the nose for this stuff. You know what I mean?
It takes your house. They take everything else. They take everything you own if you don't have insurance.
I know how to get the old people to feel.
Not going to put it on. Not going to put it on. Too crude. Too crude. Larry in Stone Mountain, you're on WSB.
Well, you did put it on. I heard it.
Well, you were on relay here. You were on. The audience did not. The guy was too crude.
Well, listen, Dave, I just can't believe that all these people are my neighbors and my fellow Georgians are so stupid that they really believe that you're serious.
My idea is serious. I know it won't be implemented because the older people would not stand for it. But my creative mind is at work.
Well, your creative mind is not at work. Now, we know, everybody that thinks knows that you're shock radio and you're out for ratings and you're trying to keep your job. And that's all that's behind.
Well, what talk show host is not trying to keep his job?
Pardon me?
What talk show host is not trying to keep his job?
Well, you're trying to keep a job that you just got.
Right.
You're trying to raise your ratings.
I've been here almost a year.
But let me agree with you.
Okay.
I do agree that these old politicians should be out. For instance, Tip O'Neill.
Yeah.
He's out, but he should have been out a long, long time ago.
Right.
Mr. Lloyd Benson, another old fogey that should be out.
Out.
And all these old Democrats that try to give away taxpayers' money, Lyndon Johnson and Hubert Humphrey are two notable
old Democrat tax spenders.
Larry, doesn't it bother you when there's an election? I agree with you, Larry. Doesn't it bother you when there's an election and you hear about busing going to the old folks' home? They're taking buses. The politicians want their vote, okay? They know they can sway them. They'll tell them something they want to hear. Doesn't that bother you a little bit?
I think it should be illegal.
Okay, I do too.
Now, I think we should have young, vital politicians in office like Mr. David Duke from Louisiana.
You do?
Yes, sir, I certainly do. He'll make a great president one of these days.
Okay. Now, I mean, you have your right to your opinion and everything, but you would like to see a younger breed of politician.
Yes, I certainly would.
But do you think that will ever happen with the elder vote?
I doubt it.
Okay, Larry. So what's the problem with my idea?
I told you I agree with you.
Okay, Larry. Thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
Agreed with me. Chrissy in Snellville, you're on WSB.
Well, you know, I think younger people should. I'm 23.
Right.
And I want to run, but I'll just be too embarrassed when I get up there and they'll pull me down because I'm too young. They give all these big shots that are old and about 50 years old.
You're 23.
Yes. And I don't think that they should be on. And I'm a girl, too. And PMS, I guess you do get a little shake up about it. But, you know, you can't help it, and it's regular for your body.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, right. Tony in Smyrna, you're on WSB.
Hey, man. What's going on?
Tony, right now you are.
You mind if I ask you a question?
Depends how tough the question is, Tony.
Okay, it's, why, do they have a Negro college fund and not a white college fund?
Tony, I don't know, Tony. Why do you think?
Well, I don't really know. I think it's because that they got people to sponsor the other people. They're not sponsoring us. But I feel that the white people and the black people should get together, and both of us should have the opportunity to go.
We do, and I agree with that. I think the majority of everybody feels that way, except a limited few. But yeah, I think the majority. Yeah, you're right. You know you're right. I don't have to say you're right. You know you are. Fur dealers fight back against animal rights activists. Hear details Monday night at 8 on Sound Off. Join Paul Gonzalez right here on AM-750 WSB. People, I'm David Paul, just trying to be creative. I have a thought. It's an idea. I'm trying to run it by you. Agreeable. I want some agreeable calls. This next hour, let's be a little friendlier. No more name calling. No more attack the talk show host. Okay? Let's be friendly. Time to tone, 9 o'clock. Politicians, the only thing they're interested in is re-election. They're not interested in your problems. They don't know what to do about your problems because they've never had a creative thought. They're past that stage. The creative thought comes with 20-year-old and a 30-year-old.
Well, the thing of it is they think that this is just another plant like BF Goodrich or whatever. They don't know that this is called liquid waste disposable.
Right.
We get this stuff from Brazil. We get it from Canada. We get it from Minnesota. We get it from every state almost. We get it from Alabama.
And my solution would take care of that. Thanks for the call, Joan.
Thank you.
Tom on a car phone. You're on WSB.
Hey, Dave, can I take your idea and run with it a little bit, kind of a variation on a theme?
Please do.
Instead of, or with politicians, instead of a 4-year term and re-election, let's run with a 6-year term so they're in long enough to do something and no re-election.
I agree with that, Tom.
That way they're not using our time to politic and sell favors to ensure their job.
Makes sense to me, Tom. Makes sense to you?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think about mandatory retirement?
I can't tell you I'm as enthused about that as you are.
Does welfare bother you?
Oh, but it's not just the old people. Everybody's trying to get something from themselves out of somebody else's pocket. I mean, there's the old people, but there's the young people. Everybody has got an interest in this whole society these days is heading towards socialism. They all want a free ride.
Oh, yeah, I think we're picking and choosing and everything. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what is welfare? What is it? I mean, if it's not socialism, what is it?
It comes out of your and my paycheck.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else you'd call it. Yeah, we're not what we should be. What we should be is either you sink or swim. If you swim, it's a personal. If you sink, it's a personal problem.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Let me throw another crazy one at you here. I just saw in the paper sometime during the last week how much money I never realized how much it was we give to the foreign countries. $30 billion to Israel, and take the list of countries, Egypt, et cetera. Let's not give it to them for a couple of years and get our own house in shape.
Tom, doesn't that seem like a simple Yeah, that seems like a very simple answer, doesn't it, Tom?
I don't know. Am I too pragmatic or too naive?
Yeah, you're too naive. The old politician out there they don't understand what you just said. You'd have to word it in the way they can't comprehend that. The older politician, they figure that these people that are in office, they're not going to be around tomorrow. Who cares? Okay, these older like Reagan, who cares? I'm not going to be here in 20 years. Who cares? Let's only care about Nancy and I's future of next week and next year. Who cares?
Actually, I think I almost disagree with you there. I think it's more the people who want to be around next week and next month and next year. What can we do to buy those votes? I agree.
Okay, that's true, Tom. That's true, too. I don't know, Tom. Thanks for the call.
Okay, guys.
Ed in Thomasville. You're on WSB.
Hey, David?
Ed.
I'm interested in your subject tonight. What do you suggest that we do with these 50-year-old people when they retire?
Well, as the guy said earlier, no taxes. Okay, you sit
no
back.
Tax from who?
No tax. You wouldn't have to pay taxes because you won't be making any money except on your retirement. But I don't know. I don't know. But see, that's a problem you're going to have to deal with, and we won't have welfare anymore because there'll be unlimited jobs. All these people on welfare will have jobs, so there will be more money to help out the elderly.
Well, are you going to give the old folks a pension?
Sure, I think we should.
Yeah.
But I just want them at 58 out of circulation to keep the country moving. Doesn't that make sense? Turnover. It's turnover. Let's keep the youthful employed, off the streets, give them jobs.
Well, the old people pay about 75% of the tax. You're going to give up all that money?
Well, if they're not working, somebody else will have to fill that slot, so somebody else will pay the 75%. And there will be less unemployment. There will be less welfare. Unlimited money, unlimited future for this country.
Isn't an old age pension welfare?
Well, I guess it is.
Well, if you'd have more welfare instead of less. If everybody retired at 58, about 80% of your population would be retired, and then we'd have a nation of hippies if they're all around 20 or 30 years old. We could take all that Social Security money and have a great big rock concert.
Is that what...
David, you're an idiot. See you later.
Thank you, Ed. See that? I come up with something new here. I work all week trying to create something, and I'm an idiot. Danny in Fayetteville, you're on WSB.
Hey, David.
Hey, Danny.
Love the calls today.
Do you really?
Yeah.
They're bringing me down real bad. I want respect.
I'll give you respect.
Thank you, Danny.
One thing I wanted to comment about is about the get rid of the older generation in Congress and stuff and make way the new generation, because look at the past old generation, look what's happening to it.
That's my argument, Danny. Look what they've done. The problems in this country stem from what the older generation have done to this country. They are the ones, not my generation, not your generation. Their generation have put us in this crummy mess we're in, so their generation will have to pay the price. And the price is mandatory retirement and lose your right to vote at 58. That will stimulate growth galore.
That's bringing some new ideas.
That's what it's all about.
And also one thing about teachers and all, you notice about how Congress gave themselves a raise and the teachers got something like a 3% raise.
3% of nothing, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And, just want to raise their salary. That burns me up.
No, it bothers me, too. I was reading, $30,000 or something for top pay, and some lady was worked 20 years and finally received top pay of $30,000. $30,000, you can't support a family.
Yeah, I know.
You can't do it. Thanks, Danny.
Okay, bye.